Good morning, Goderich. This is Anthony Wilkinson speaking. It is June the 29th, 2010. It is, I would say, in the mid-teens. I'm wearing a sweater this morning. It's a bit chilly. And I'm in the beautiful Courthouse Square, of course, in the center of Goderich, Ontario. Today I'd like to talk about a couple things. I know I mentioned yesterday I was shooting an interview with a luthier, and that would be today's episode, but actually it would be tomorrow's because I'm shooting this afternoon. So stay tuned in tomorrow for some exciting video. Today I'd just like to talk about a bit of a recap as to, I started shooting these videos on May the 28th, 2010. As you know, my first video was down at the beach. And I'd just like to talk briefly about...
Nothing like free internet, eh?
That's right.
Nothing like free internet, eh?
Yeah. And I'd like to talk about kind of the hurdles you go through, certainly in the first month of blogging, and probably, during your whole career, if I can call it that. Some of the things, is like when I did this, I committed to doing it every weekday, and I knew there was going to be some mornings that I would just kind of have to wing it, and, 1 second. Yeah, as I was saying, is some mornings you have to kind of come up with an idea, and one of the things that has helped me is coming up with a schedule, not really a schedule, but just like a list of things I'd like to talk about, and things that aren't necessarily like time dependent, so that if I, had a morning where I wasn't going to, interview somebody, or I didn't have anything, anything topical to talk about, I would have like a list of things I could just kind of come out and talk about. So that's important, is to have kind of a brainstorming list before you start. I didn't do that before I started. I just kind of started doing it. I mean, that's the most important thing, is actually just to start doing it. And then once I did that, I realized, okay, I need a list of subjects I can draw from, or a list of things to talk about that people might find interesting. The second problem I've run into is just like technical. Basically, I shoot with a Logitech webcam on like a mini PC, or netbook, as they say in the business, and occasionally I run into problems where I have audio issues. I think the audio on the camera is actually quite good, but it's not professional recording gear, and you have to be aware of, say there's wind, you might get wind noise and things like that, so you have to kind of be prepared to shoot. What I started doing was shoot like a little segment first, so like a minute, and I'll play it back to know, okay, are the audio levels right. And I've been caught out a couple times where I haven't done that, like at the museum, because I thought, I'm indoors, I'm just going to go fine. Of course, it was using the netbook's internal microphone, and none of the audio came out, so you learn these things pretty quickly. Everything I shoot is cut in Windows Movie Maker afterwards, and that's been like one of the easiest things, is I was really unsure as to what I was going to use to cut the videos together, because I haven't used Final Cut, or like there's a lot of fancy programs out there, or like Director. Actually, I just got away with just using like bog standard Windows Movie Maker. There's a version that came out for Vista that you can actually, if you hunt around, you can find and download it. Because I have a Windows 7 PC, and apparently the version that's built in for Windows Movie Maker for it's quite terrible. It doesn't have a lot of the functionality. So I used that. That problem was solved fairly quickly. And then from there, I basically upload it to YouTube, which is pretty straightforward, and then link it to my blog. So as far as a blog, I think something is I'm going to be changing, and something I'd like to suggest to you is setting up a subscription list, so people who get to your site and get to your blog and want to get a little ping in their inbox or what have you, or RSS feeder when you put an update in. Think about implementing that as soon as possible. Again, my blog is kind of a standard. I'm just using the standard WordPress theme on mine, but I plan on changing to like a little more interesting theme, so I can put some different content on there. And again, putting that subscription on there. I think I've missed out a little bit on subscribers by, because I had a lot of exposure locally in the paper, and they've been really good to me, and have some kind of good word of mouth going on. But it'd be nice to kind of, because I could see looking at my views that it kind of was it really spiked up when I was in the paper. It'd be nice to capture some of that, because the week after that, I had a new contract with a fairly large firm, and I was out of the office a lot. I didn't have a chance to shoot a lot of videos that week, which leads me to my next point is, as you I commit to like every weekday so releasing a video. Is there's, on days where it's a bit slower, I could maybe go and shoot a couple of videos, or when I'm doing interviews, I could shoot, a good morning video in the morning before things get crazy. And then later on in the day, when people's schedules line up, I could shoot an interview, and then that could be the next day's video. So I don't actually have to, get out there every morning, say if it's rainy, or say I have to be at a training or a conference or what have you, that you can continue to post the videos and get them online. So I hope this was helpful. As I said, the most important thing, though, is just to get out there and start doing it, whether it's video blogging or just writing articles, things like that. Just, it is important to just start. And some people, depending on your comfort level, you may want to get a couple articles built up before you release them. But as long as you've started on that road, that's the key step that 99% of the people don't take. So, good morning, Goderich. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you.